Hello, marry me. So I want to discuss a topic that very often comes up on newbie forums for witchcraft and so on, and sometimes we meet people face to face, and that is the question of curses. Now, you generally can't go a day on some forums without some people coming in and saying, I think my friend cursed me, I think somebody cursed me, what do I do? And very often the replies are very snarky, telling this person, no, no, this does never happen, and so on and so forth. And I have two opinions on this. First is that, yes, I do think that quite a few of those I think they have been cursed have not, because it's not that common, but it do happen. I mean, I have cast curses myself, though I don't do so regularly because I feel that curses are a form of violence, and there has to be quite a bit of provocation for me to resort to violence. However, I also don't see a problem with just protecting yourself if you think that something negatively affects. Now, here's how you can look at it. First of all, when you have a magical worldview, as in you believe magic exists, then naturally you do believe that sometimes magic can negatively affect you. Yes, some people do not believe this, and I don't really see how they can. I mean, it's like with a medicine, the right dosage for the right illness will heal you. But if you take, for example, heart medicine, if you do not have a heart condition, you can kill yourself. So, the same, if something can heal, it can hurt. But that's another kind of debate. Basically, yes, some people will willingly try to hurt you with magic. Far more common, however, is that the regular negative emotions, feelings, and so on of people around can affect you. Not to mention that, for example, if you live in an apartment complex and the people there have a lot of arguments and so on, that negative energy generated by that can seep into your apartment. So there's definitely good reason to cleanse yourself and protect yourself. And this is where I think a lot of people who give advice on these forums are wrong. Usually I say, I don't know if you are cursed or not. It do happen, but not that often. However, it doesn't hurt to cleanse yourself because, let's face it, most people need that. Now, of course, there are protections and cleansings that are a counterattack, and you shouldn't use that unless you know somebody has attacked you. At least if it's targeted one. Some are more directed, like saying if there's negativity sent towards me, I send it back to whoever sent it. That's fine. But if you think that your friend Julie has put a curse on you because you have been flirting with her boyfriend, saying, okay, no, I'll send my negative energy to Julie. That, unless you're pretty sure, like I said, back to the analogy about violence. Unless you feel comfortable walking up to Yuli and punching her in the face, don't do magical violence against her either. However, cleansing and protection never hurts. Now, here's a few very simple cleansings that you can do if you feel that you're affected by negative energy, whatever that be a directed intentional curse or just general negative energy that floats around the air. One thing is that you can have a cleansing bath. For example, you can fill a bath and then add a bit of salt to the water. Salt water has a very cleansing effect, and then you can sit and soak there. Perhaps you want to put on some calming, uplifting music in the background, or do such, or you might focus your mind on seeing yourself filled with bright white light that just melts away any negativity. That's a good way to cleanse yourself. If you do not have a bathtub, you can do the same in the shower by adding some salt, preferably sea salt, but any salt will do. In a washcloth, then just tying it off with a rubber band and then washing yourself with this cloth filled with salt while you do the same thing, envisioning yourself filled with bright white light that just pushes all the negativity out. Another good way to cleanse yourself is the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Now, if you search for that on Google, you will find the ritual. It's so popular, it's put up everywhere. And it is then the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Now, this has the added benefit of both cleansing you, protecting you, and also raising your spiritual being. And done regularly, it can also help you connect with the elements. Um, Generally speaking, there's so many ways to do a cleansing. I mean, some do self-flagellation, others just sit with a white candle and try to focus all the negativity just into that candle. And so it's very easy to just find a way to cleanse yourself. This is important if you feel that some negativity is directed towards you, is cleanse yourself. Another thing that can be very beneficial if you have those feelings, whatever or not they are rooted in truth or not, is to ground yourself. Now, what grounding do is that it takes your energy and it connects it with ground. This helps you avoid being too fluttery. It helps you avoid just going off. Basically, we need a balance. We are physical beings. There needs to be a balance. Excuse me. Just need a drink. Yes, not very refined. I just have my bottled water standing here. Anyway, sorry for the little break. Like I said, it helps you think about things more clearly. Because when you feel that you're under such a spiritual attack, it's very easy to get panicky. It just calms your energies. And there are many ways to ground yourself. One good way is to just walk outside barefoot. Of course, some places, like in the middle of a city, or in wintertime and such on, that's difficult to do. Another thing that you can do is that you can sit or stand and you can envision roots coming out of your feet and connecting with earth and just digging down into it. That's a good way to ground yourself. Strengthening your root chakra is also a very good way to ground yourself, and you can do this by meditation, focusing red energy flowing into the chakra that sits between your genitalia, or you can use stones that connect with this chakra. For example, hematite, garnet, all forms of red stones affect this chakra. Again, I have to point to the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, because it do both elevate your spiritual energies and ground them. Because in the Kabbalistic cross, which is the first part of the ritual, you first envision yourself connected with the above, and then with the below. So it is both uplifting and grounding. That is the second thing I recommend you do if you feel under some sort of spiritual attack. A third thing I would recommend you to do is protection. Now, you can say this is about like putting up a shield to protect you from negative energy. Now, I do recommend doing regular protections whenever you do spiritual work, because you never know what you'll get into contact with, and it helps you usually from getting your energy drained. It also keeps you safe and grounded. It is it is a good idea to always remember to ground yourself if you are going to do spiritual work. Protect yourself. I mean, if you're going to do spiritual work. And again, like I said, the lesser bent and ritual of the pentagram is one option. Another option is to just light a candle, draw some deep breaths, and then envisioning yourself putting on armor. Envisioning yourself just pulling on the boots and the chainmail and all of that until you stand there, a shining knight in armor. You can also envision, for example, a protective aura around yourself. Just envision this bright, shining light, whatever color you wish, surrounding you, and say to yourself, this is my protective barrier, no negative energy will pass here. And with regular use and practice, this will help keep you safe if somebody should decide to send negative energy towards you, and also from the random negative energy that just floats around the ether. So, yes, these are all ways that you can deal with it when you feel that you are under some sort of spiritual attack. Now, sometimes this isn't enough, you still feel it continuing. And if so, I do recommend that you seek aid from somebody more experienced within the path. If you do all these things regularly and the feeling continues, now it does not necessarily mean that you are right, that you are under some sort of curse, and I would be careful about seeking aid from those that takes a lot of money. Now, a small fair fee for a time, that's fine. I mean, if I make a piece of jewelry, I would be expected to be compensated uh, from for my effort and for the materials used. The same thing if whatever person you go to help remove your real or imagined curse charges a moderate, fair fee, that's fine. I am not one of those that say that you can never charge money for magic. However, if they charge an enormous fee and then convince you that no, you are definitely cursed, you have to come back and you have to pay me and so on, and I will remove the curse, then most likely they are bullshitting you. But yes, generally speaking, if you are aware and just do this cleansing, grounding, and protection, then you will usually deal with the problem. Also, do remember that even if you are a magical person, not all misfortune comes from some sort of negativity. So, of course, you can say you have a completely magical worldview, so you see everything as energy. So, if the refrigerator breaks down, that was the refrigerator having bad energy, and that is a completely acceptable paradigm. And I think it can be a useful paradigm for somebody working magic because it gives you a greater sense of control in your life, and it gives you more items that you can actually use magic to try to affect. However, you shouldn't go overboard and assume that just because you have had a streak of bad luck, some of your friends are working magic against you. Because most of the time they are not. However, even if you are wrong, even if nobody is working anything against you, even if there is no negative energy affecting you, cleansing, grounding, and protection will still benefit you. So I recommend you start with that. If the unfortunate situations then continue and continue and continue, and you feel this pressing, you feel that you have been cursed somehow, then you might want to look deeper into it and possibly seek help for it. But you can start by basically doing these rituals yourself and see if it helps. Because usually, even when negative energy is involved, that will be very beneficial. And if there isn't, then at least you are protected in the future. So yes, those are my advice for basically what to do if you think that you have been cursed. Don't panic. Cleanse yourself, protect yourself, and ground yourself. And if the feeling continues, seek aid, or if no aid can be found, Buy some books on psychic self-defense and see what you can do about that. It's also possible to go to a church and ask for a blessing there, because everything is interconnected, and uh, basically the Christians do magic too, even if they might not see it that way. Do what you can with that, but generally do not panic. Most of the time there is no curse there, but doing these things is beneficial anyway. Also, do not do a counterattack against someone unless you're absolutely sure they are actually working against you, because you don't want to be the one that escalates to magical violence. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and blessed be.